What's up, Florida Game? We're doing an offseason blueprint of the New York Knicks. Eliminated second round. What should they do coming up? What are y'all's thoughts? Are we doing a lot? Are we running it back?
Well, first things first. OG and Hartenstein are free agents. I think you got to resign them.
OG's player option, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's player option. I think he declines, and then he
Tries to get a bigger contract.
tries to get a bigger contract. I think the Knicks should pay him. It kind of sucks because he's kind of injury prone, but you signed up for it when you got rid of RJ quickly.
And you still have Randle right now too.
Yeah, I think you do it. Hartenstein. I think
if you can get him
less,
not too expensive,
like a team like the Pelicans may just offer him $15 million, and if that's the case, you just gotta let him go.
I mean,
that's
he's good.
He's good,
pretty good though, especially considering Robinson's injury prone.
Make it quick. Re-sign everyone. They had a great season. Unfortunate injury. Jalen Brunson got hurt at the end.
I don't think they should re-sign Milton.
Hartenstein is not going to be that easy because here's the thing.
Yeah, he's not.
If they want to keep him, he's going to have to take a pay cut and want to have to play with a winning team. He will. I almost guarantee he will be able to make more money.
Oh yeah,
teams will offer him more. So it's going to be really on Hartenstein if he wants to take a pay cut and play with the Knicks.
Another thing,
or wants to go somewhere else.
Thibodeau's got to give Alec Burks minutes during the regular season. We have seen this guy show out.
That was so bizarre. They kind of just traded for him and he didn't do anything. And then in the playoffs, he was awesome. But yeah, I think just rounding out that bench, even though I think they're like the deepest team in the league.
I mean, their bench was like their starters in that last.
They literally in multiple games they were missing 2 or 3 starters.
But they also have lots of injury-prone players.
Yeah.
OG's injury-prone. Mitchell Robinson's injury-prone. The rest
Brunson,
of the guys, I think, were
low-key was like injured, banged up the whole season.
Yeah.
His hand was banged up the whole season, dude.
But I think all in all, you don't look to make many changes. Yeah, I think the Randle situation is
especially considering the fact, right? They had, I mean, if you include Randle, I mean, they had like almost 4 starters out. They still made it this far. Now think about if even one of those guys is healthy throughout the whole thing. You round out the bench a little bit more, and then with Randle, like you were gonna say, if you trade Randle, you can get really good return for him.
Robinson just came off injury too, going right.
Yeah, he came off injury right before the playoffs.
But he did do amazing.
OG came off injury right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hart had that really bad game because his abs were hurting. He was too strong up down there. And then Brunson had a banged up hand the whole time.
Hart needs to learn how to shoot, dude. He is terrible.
Except from the 76ers.
Yeah.
He's amazing. But yeah, I think the thing that everyone's saying is Julius for Mikal Bridges. I wouldn't have any problem with them just running it back with Randle, but we've seen it in the playoffs. And he had like a 35% failure percentage. And I don't know if that's just going to change. So I think the safe.
I wouldn't bank on it.
I think the safe thing is to trade.
Exactly.
I
agree.
And everyone's saying Mikal Bridges. I don't know how willing the Nets would do that. Whatever.
Just whatever. Don't worry about it.
Because you don't want to boost your crosstown rivals. And you're not really getting a nice return. I guess Randle and picks. But like, how much? Like, are you just going to stack up on draft picks that aren't your own, and you just hope the team just crumbles?
Yeah,
that's your role that's your thing to success.
Kind of is.
And then just like, oh, we're going to have this third best player on a normal team be our first best player, and we're going to try to make the plan. Like that's kind of like what they're doing right now. But
that's kind of what they've been doing.
They seem committed to it, so I think Randle would fit well. I mean, so that's what I would do from the Knicks. If like
I would definitely shop Randle.
Mikal would actually be so awesome.
Mikal could
and then you get the Villanova 4.
But even just like fit,
and then you trade back for Ryan.
The Nets. Mikal Bridges, I guarantee you, is untouchable.
I mean, yeah.
He is amazing.
They turned out Jalen Green and 5 first-round picks.
I don't think that's all fully exactly how that trade went down at all.
That is the report. We don't know how.
I think maybe there's like 1 first-round pick involved or 2.
I know.
Or maybe there was like maybe it was Mikal and Cam Thomas or something
You got
like
Cam
that, in
Johnson.
5 first round picks and Jalen Green.
Cam Johnson's injured. I mean, I don't want to talk about the Nets,
But you are.
I would love that, but Cam Johnson is going to be on a lot of people's radars.
Yeah. I agree.
But
Yeah, I mean,
not
I
on
think
the
they could do a
Knicks.
lot. I don't. You. Yeah,
I mean, they have.
He might be.
I don't know. Not for Randle, but
No, because they would need it. I think they would give
like for Boyan,
Vincenzo or well, they would probably want to. I mean,
like if you say Boyan will give you 2 first-round picks for Cam Johnson, there's no way they say no. I mean, maybe they do. They turned down 2 first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith.
yeah, I don't know why they did that. But I mean, I do have a trade with the Clippers. Not, I don't know how I feel about it because so it's Randall and Boyan for Kawhi and Boston Jr. I feel like Randall and Kawhi both injury prone. Kawhi's obviously a very good player. Randall's a very good player in the regular season. Seen he kind of sucks in the playoffs.
So does Kawhi.
Well,
He had
he
9 points in a game.
That's true. But he was injured.
He was
When he's
hurt.
healthy,
But
that's
He
also
played
like,
the whole game.
Well, that's
and had
what-
9.
it's pretty rough.
But yeah, I mean, it's
He also
but,
didn't
like
treat
you
that much,
can't say
but yeah.
Kawhi Leonard doesn't show up.
Hey.
What you literally doesn't show up in the playoffs. But when he does play, he's
Normally,
healthy and
he's
hasn't been
pretty
out
good.
for a while.
Before you finish your explanation, I'm fully out on Kawhi. I mean, like if you're the Clippers,
Yeah.
I get just like
It's really not.
let's just
much.
hope. But I
It's
do
not,
not
I
want
agree.
Kawhi. Like I mean, he's just not reliable.
Randall is more
Point
healthy,
blank.
I think, than Kawhi.
I mean, yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
Last season, Kawhi was way healthier. Kawhi played 70 games.
But
Yeah,
not in
and
the
then-
playoffs.
He's like always still on minute restriction.
I don't think he actually was that much last season. He actually had a pretty healthy season.
Yeah.
But every once in a while,
And
he'd
it
be like
worked out perfectly for the Clippers.
in the playoffs
Yeah.
because the playoffs, he's like, actually, guys, I'm really hurting now.
So the Knicks starting lineup with Kawhi, what would be kind of their rotation?
I mean, it would probably be Brunson,
That's
DiVincenzo,
OG
OG, Kawhi,
and Robinson.
Robinson.
That's a big change from having Josh Hart to.
And then you bring Josh Hart off the bench.
That'd be
For-
great.
Or
Mike-
you could even go OG shooting guard, Hart small forward.
I would rather DiVincenzo.
I would
DiVincenzo could be a really nice
I
spark
would have-
plug.
honestly OG come off the bench. Just because how
But you're going to be paying him
effective-
like $30 million.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
how effective Josh Hart is on the rebounding.
But you can bring him
He
in really
makes a
quickly. You can
huge
sub him
difference
out
for the
really
Knicks.
quickly for DiVincenzo or whoever. But you want to
Yeah.
start off with guys that can all shoot the 3 ball and space the floor.
I mean, but that's
OG can't play by
a good
himself
problem to have. You have
Yeah.
too many good players.
I know.
generally, and the fit should be good. That's a very
I mean, yeah,
important
the fit is going to work.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
thing. Hopefully.
I mean, Kawhi's not really a guy that stirs things up, like on the court,
Yeah,
maybe in the locker room, just because he's a good player.
or just in his own life.
I think I even like Paul George instead of Kawhi in that deal.
George. Yeah.
Paul George, I mean, he has had his injury problems, but he at least just like shows up sometimes. I mean,
Oh, like Kawhi doesn't show up sometimes.
He showed up in the playoffs.
he shows up less times.
PG was not that great in the playoffs.
What do y'all
either.
think about?
But I don't think
He
they
showed
need-
up. He was
like-
He played.
But he also had those moments where he was like awesome, and then I like the Knicks could have just used a few more of those awesome games. You know,
What do y'all think about the contract situation if they traded for Paul George to Kawhi? You have that. He's got if he accepts that player option, obviously with the Clippers, and then so it's like a sign and trade almost, right?
well, that's,
And the Knicks then would have that 1 year with Paul George to see how if they like it, could re-sign him or just 1 year.
or they just extend-
And if
Yeah,
you
they
get
could do
Player
that.
wise, I like Kawhi Leonard more than Paul George. I think Paul George needs the ball more in his hands and is not
Fair.
as much of a playmaker as Kawhi Leonard because Jalen Brunson is going to be the main guy. I think
oh yeah,
he has to be.
yeah,
I think Paul George is also at least more used to playing the number 2 role, and
yeah.
he's played with elite guards and been awesome. with elite
True.
guards. I mean Russ is different than Brunson, but they're kind of similar.
I mean, he's playing with Harden right now. I feel like that's more similar than Russ is to Brunson.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. But if I'm being honest, I think if you're the Knicks, you kind of just wait.
That's what
For stuff. I mean, like,
They have a nice roster.
is Devin Booker
They do.
going to become available? I don't
I
know.
don't know if I like that though.
But at the end of the day,
Devin Booker's not.
You can't always before
I don't
you
think-
say anything. we've seen multiple times that star-studding a team doesn't work.
But I don't think you're not star studying this team. You're still gonna
You're going to change the entire dynamic of the team by having two ball dominant score first guards. The entire dynamic will completely
I don't
change.
think it.
And now
Devin
you
Booker's
also
a great player.
lose.
would.
You also lose. I don't
would-
think you
how
would.
would it
You have
not?
two guys that need the ball in their hands at least 30% of the time.
I know, but
And
so
are
much
both
of their
score first. That's
so much of their,
factually changes it.
so much of their offense is like Jalen Brunson taking 30 shots a game.
Okay.
Like
true.
switch that to Jalen Brunson takes 23 shots, and then you add in another 20 shot per game score. I think it.
That's
And now
But I don't know. If, also, I
you
don't
were
know if
good.
that
Obviously,
is
that's
the
what it
perfect
always is.
fit.
But I wouldn't risk it.
I don't love the fit.
I think it's too
And
risky for what.
Here's the
position they're
problem
in.
with the fit. Here's the huge problem with the fit. You lose the exact identity of the New York Knicks. Right now they have a roster filled with guys that will hustle their ass off.
But
on
who is the star that
defense
fits that?
and the rebounding? Mikal Bridges would certainly be better fit.
Okay.
Paul, like those guys can at least play defense and grab like
I don't
a
know
lot
if
of
Mikal
rebounds.
Bridges is available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course not. But even Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, these all Devin Booker is certified weak as a defender and even as a rebounder. Now you have two guys, and Brunson he hustles and actually gets
He's
quite a bit
not
of boards
scoring
sometimes.
Playmaking
But now you have two players on your starting lineup.
very underrated playmaking.
I agree.
He has shown it in the playoffs.
That was so unnecessary.
Yeah, but he's still a high usage guy
Beautiful.
and still score first guy
It
too.
depends on what Devin Booker you're getting. If you're getting 2023 playoffs Devin Booker, you make that shit. Okay. I mean, because he was a top 7 player in the league during that playoff.
Yeah, but you can't, like I said, you can't just star-stud a team or expect, oh, he's a
And
good
the-
player, he's gonna be
But
good here.
I do think it's
He's gonna work
a very big difference in the situation because Kevin Durant, he just looks to score. He's not passing like at all.
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson, he gives the ball around, but
For sure.
he very much does.
I think it would
score.
work better than the Suns.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
agree.
agree.
The Knicks are built better, but
I'm
the
just
fact
saying
of the
in
matter,
general, though.
the fact of the matter remains, for worse or for better, the identity of the Knicks will be changed.
Yes.
This will not be running it back at all. Whereas Mikal Bridges will be still a lot closer. It's a guy that's very much been used to being a third guy, very much a guy that can play completely off the ball. Very much a guy that's still an excellent defender that fits that identity. You will change the identity of the New York Knicks by getting Devin Booker.
Yes,
For better or
but the
for worse.
Mikal Bridges trade is better. I agree, but the Devin Booker trade is still an amazing trade.
It might not be.
Well, it
The
depends on. We don't have the actual mock trade either.
Hey,
Depends
we
on what
don't-
you're giving
we
away
don't
too.
know about Mikal Bridges either. He's been in the number one situation for the past 2 or 3 years.
Huh?
Too.
So what?
So
I
he looks to have the ball now in his hand.
Not
Man
even
can't
though. I
promise.
feel like even in Brooklyn,
He was an
still-
off year where people thought he was going to get most improved player, and he definitely did not. Was not even close. And plus, again,
he got
Wow.
did you vote for him?
He went from favorite to 1 vote.
I have a completely different question. As far again, we're talking about these injuries. We're talking about running it back. We know how Thibs is as a coach, running his guys a lot. Do we think that he needs to change his approach, whether practice wise or regular season wise, of how hard he plays with guys
Yes.
that may contribute to
Yes.
injuries
Yes.
when their bodies have so much strain?
Yeah, like look, they had the best bench in the league in my eyes, and they didn't use that bench that often.
Well,
Or
the
as
worst
much
part
as-
is right because a lot of times, right, blowout games they'll take their stars out, but on the Knicks, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Obi, they're still playing 42 minutes.
Yeah.
In those games, that's exactly why they take them out. You risk, or playing them, you risk injury and just the long
And
term
I
body
think
effect.
adding that second score, I mean, it doesn't have to be Booker. Just takes so much pressure off Jalen Brunson.
Mhm.
And takes so much pressure off the starters in general. Just because, like, you could run that second store. I mean, you don't bring them off the bench, but you run them with that second unit so that when Jalen Brunson is like, if he went out the game, the offense just couldn't do anything.
So, Bob, you said you have one.
I have no idea about the money. I'm pretty sure it's going to get paid a lot. Chris Middleton, I think he would be really nice in that system.
For
We've-
Randle,
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
I think
I don't know.
he just showed.
I don't know if the
playoffs that he
Bucks
can
are wanting to
score.
give him up.
We know he can score really nicely. I think he is looking for a bigger role again. And
I don't know how
especially
much
coming to
bigger
the
his
Bucks.
role will be, but he would
Yeah,
certainly have a.
he's not gonna have a bigger role.
He may have a few more games where he needs
He's
to
gonna have more
step
ball
up.
touches.
No, he's
like,
gonna have more step up.
I don't know about that. It just depends on the game. If they need him to step up and Brunson step,
All right, I'm 12 years old.
What just happened?
nothing.
All right. I like the Chris Middleton idea. I don't know what the Bucks are thinking.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
I
know.
don't know what they're doing.
I don't
They
know.
could be losing their GM this year.
It does not
They
make a
could
lot
be
of sense.
losing Dame this year too.
From a Bucks
I think that's
perspective, it
I don't
does
think I
not
agree.
seem to make a lot of sense to get Randle and Giannis on the
And
same team.
Lopez.
And
That's
Lopez.
I think if you
and
run Giannis
and Portis.
If you just like screw it, let's run Giannis at the 5. I think, but I don't know. I don't think they would ever.
Yeah, I don't know if they would even be interested in that.
I
just
think
thought
it's
Chris
something to look
Middleton
at. I think it would be interesting.
in the Knicks would be really nice. I just don't know how it's gonna work back for the Bucks. Maybe.
Well, you could always three-way it too some way, and then
All right. That's a lot. That's enough of that. Back to the coaching situation. So you guys said like that deepest bench. I would say something along those lines is definitely true. Just like maybe
Yeah.
deepest, best overall deep team.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see how many of those guys that were deep were playing 40 minutes in the playoffs. But then why couldn't they play 25 during the regular season when the team was healthy to maybe to preserve some of your starters and the wear and tear of an 82 game season.
Well, once Thibs gets trust in the guy, he's just gonna play.
Yeah.
Like we saw.
It's like a child with his favorite player. You just can't stop like watching.
I
You
know.
just love them. You just feel upset.
We
He
saw
brags on him
we saw
every
Deuce,
time.
like the minute Deuce started getting minutes, it was like, oh, you're playing 40 minutes.
Yeah, so
It's true.
crazy.
he
So I
started him and said, "Yeah, you're my guy."
But I gotta give Tibbs credit because throughout his coaching years, he's always adapted a little bit every year, every step of the way. I think he's a really good X's and O's coach.
He's not very good at minutes.
It's just too slow to realize.
What
It's too late.
Here's the
that's
problem
why
with
he got
this.
fired. Or I guess he didn't get fired. They just like let him go. But
It's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
they
They just let him go. They said you
It's a
can walk
polite way
away.
of saying you're done. But
They just let him walk away. They said, "Well, go. You can go your own way, and we're not going to stop you."
I think he has adapted, and he played his young guys. I mean, he played Deuce.
I think
I love Deuce.
The problem is
Deuce. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good player. He should not be getting the minutes that he got.
I mean,
well, he did with the injuries. Yeah, he needed to. But the
And he
problem
should've.
is, Coach Thibs is playing 2K, and he has the tiredness off.
Yeah, he has fatigue off,
He has fatigue off.
but he has injuries on.
And so just getting a little more strategic in that way, I think particularly for the regular season might be beneficial for come playoff time.
I was looking for the Deuce McBride.
Deuce, baby.
But in general, I mean, we all know the talent's there. A few trades might be interesting. A lot of them might not exactly be available. So in the end of the day, they might have to kind of just run it back, and that's not
Which I
a
don't
bad
think is
thing
the
to
worst
look at.
idea. I mean, just kind of free agents, maybe. Like I said, if they let Milton walk, let some of the other guys walk. And Milton, that's what I said.
To Milton.
Did I?
Yeah, you did, kid.
Well, I read Milton and I thought Milton, but
I have a quick one. I think it will be quick. And the team is, I think, looking to trade him. Zach LaVine.
I don't know if I like that.
We had talked about that at the trade deadline, actually.
I think it's just too much.
Or
money.
DeMar.
I think DeMar would be better.
I think DeMar.
I heard DeMar wants to stay though.
Please don't.
Yeah.
DeMar. Contend, baby.
To me, Zach LaVine
He thinks
is very
he'll
similar.
Lonzo's back. They're gonna think they're contenders this year.
I agree. That's why I like DeMar a little more, actually.
I agree. I think DeMar would be way better.
DeMar is more heavy. I feel like he's
True.
heavier ball usage.
But I think
Now
they
it's a
could
good
use a
team.
little bit of heavier ball usage.
maybe.
Dude, oh my gosh.
What we see, it was a lot younger DeMar with the Raptors, right? But he was really good with the right players around him. He plays really nice basketball.
I could see DeMar working out really well.
I mean, except for that they won a championship after he left.
That was an unfortunate time. They would have won.
Why
with-
at the time was also a lot better.
I mean, well, yeah.
What you're saying? Kawhi's playoff performance this year is not the same Kawhi you expected.
No, I expected it, but he wasn't. Brian Kawhi.
But I think
You
looking
think
to
Kawhi's
those
just like
guys-
out of his brain?
yes.
He doesn't know how to be. His knee doesn't know how to stop swelling.
I still think he had like a really good year.
I feel like if he
He's not
went
fine.
healthy in the playoffs, I think we would be looking at a somewhat of.
I think he
fine
finished like
squad.
second MVP, so he's definitely not still prime. But or
Maybe
maybe
that
players
was
are just better.
2016, and that was his stats have actually gotten better. 16.
I think the Raptors.
Are you sure?
Guys,
Not that sure.
do we have to have a
No, no, it was 16.
16, 17, 16, 17.
Because 17,
sure,
it was the
actually,
Russ versus Harden.
Yep.
And then 16, it was Curry, and it was like, I don't care who else is there. It's just Curry.
This is Curry.
I think Russ was also no, because Katie was still.
Anyway, yes, Kawhi's a very good player. He's actually gotten better since that year. He's had several.
I mean,
Even last year, he shot like a 40% 3-pointer.
I'd say look into re-signing Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah,
Resign?
re-signing.
Bring him back to the league. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
take him out of retirement. Get a
Dude,
defense.
imagine a team with Zaza and Goga.
They're best friends.
And
That's yeah. Kim,
I think of anyone else.
Kim,
Kim?
Jung-un.
Hi, Jones.
Go.
Anyway, I don't think any of these people are people the Knicks are signing.
No,
No.
I hope not.
They'll probably run it back, but
I think for the most part, running back is the way you should go.
I just hope Pivot.
I wouldn't mind adding like just a better backup point.
Well, I said for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't think
Like
they should
McBride
not
is not-
move any.
I mean, he's not a point guard.
Yeah.
He's shooting guard.
Exactly.
do they have no space for that?
Hey, Josh Giddey.
They have Burks. He's also shooting guard.
Please do not go to the Knicks, Josh Giddey.
There's too many
He'd
people.
either
There's
get-
too many people in New York.
He'd either
Too
get,
risky.
he'd either get torn apart or he'd thrive. He plays really well in the Garden. He's had a triple
That's
double.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So maybe he's just going to average a triple double.
Back
He's
up
MVP
guard.
year as a backup pro.
That would be interesting to come like from the starting lineup with like Brunson. Shut up.
This guy is a different
Guy.
mindset right now.
This guy, he has needs.
He has
They've
needs.
not been but you come from a lineup of Brunson, the lineup is starting, not passing that much, or like being that guy that has that ball and looking to score, also you go to Giddy. And he's looking to feed.
Balls.
Anyway.
Like, I think he
that's,
could play next Brunson, just as like a secondary guy. Even though it's basically what he's doing with Shea,
Why would you start Giddy in that lineup?
you wouldn't. No, I'm just saying he could play next.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
But just bring him off the
I hope
bench,
so.
playing 20 minutes a game. I think Josh Giddey can still be a really good player. Just
if he learned how to play defense.
I mean,
Cannot do.
he was good in the regular season, and then he was just like horrendous in the playoffs.
You
He was
Yeah.
decent.
Well, actually-
We've heard about Deacon's darkest moments, but
Yeah.
the fact that he'll end up as a Nick is unlikely.
He
but I
went
think
from loving Josh Giddey to absolutely hating the guy.
Well, and then there was a stretch,
But then he
this
kinda
year
came
where
back up.
like he was on fire. He made that shot while sitting down. I was like, I'm in.
I mean,
And then
Josh.
he played well against the Pelicans. He played well against the Pelicans. He shot 50% from three, and then he didn't.
then he
His
stopped.
shot makes me mad.
He makes me mad.
I think he's going to come back next year with a vengeance. Hopefully with Utah.
Wrong team.
You mean the Knicks?
No, Utah. We get Lowry.
oh, well, we're not talking about this.
That's the wrong team.
I know.
I know.
Or with the Knicks. You know?
Randle for Giddy.
I don't want Randall.
He
Although
rebounds.
he does rebound.
He does rebound.
It was
He's
shot
a
guard.
vet who has playoff experience.
Not great.
Is it
Not-
good? Is it good playoff experience? No, but he has playoff
He
experience.
does have
I
like.
think we just have too much bad playoff experience on the roster. I mean, because like basically all our players have that.
It's the wrong
playoff
team
Hey,
still. I think we're still
okay,
talking about the wrong team, guys.
Anyway, we'll get to the Thunder here shortly. We can watch our other Thunder episode. Any other Knicks thoughts? Very good. Drop yours in the comments. We'd love to hear them. We'll respond to you. Subscribe. Peace out.
experience.